Welcome, everyone. How's it going? Oh, you got the memo. Who else in their jammies? Yeah? Fabulous. I am in jammies. I realize we are in Asheville. I realize that this might just look like something I would wear to work, which I also might wear to work. I do tend to have a combo of like jammy work clothes that kind of are both. But this has a zipper, and I feel like, and some pockets. I was trying to go for like a Moo vibe, and it's not quite Moo as I want it to be, but it'll do for now. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Melanie, and thank you. Robin and I are trauma bonded, so what that means is that we end up doing a lot of things together, hard things together. And part of that is she owes me because I helped her dispose of a body one time. And in return, I get to come and be on the microphone for a few minutes before she gets on stage. Because I just want y'all to think about like what Robin actually shares on stage. And if any of you know me, like what I'm willing to share on stage, the stuff we're not willing to share is like pretty fucked up. So we have like a lot of dirt on each other, some good blackmail material. So in order to keep some of that under wraps, she allows me this. And this is also like, if anybody saw The Substance recently, like the whole thing about like how we stay young. I very rarely leave my house after dark at all. Probably the last time I did that was a year ago when we did this. But, you know, coming out and getting a microphone in my hand is like how I like keep some of my young energy and, make it another day, live another day. Speaking of living another day, who's really fucking depressed and despondent about the world right now? Yes, me too. And I do just want to say, like, everyone's feelings are valid. We've all been through a lot, but I do want to just go ahead and make a statement now that, pre-Helene, I was already doing it. So I feel like I get dibs on that, and for being cool, if it's going to be like a cool contest of who has it the worst, or who's been the most despondent, or who went the longest without washing their hair. Some of us were doing that pre-Helene, okay? So just need y'all to know where we stand in that I win in that. But everyone is valid, everyone's experience is valid, you're welcome here. There's no trauma Olympics, So yeah, I just want to make sure we get that understood. So we're here tonight to be with Robin, who we love and adore. And I just would like to take a minute to acknowledge what a fucking amazing person she is and how much she gives to her community and her family and all the ways that she shows up for us. And I will say that a big part of that is because I am her friend and I'm able to support her through that. And so I am here tonight not only to have my few minutes of fame on the microphone, but I also will be sitting here as her emotional support in a service that I like to call emotional escorting, which I am available for. If anyone else needs that support, you can take me to family holiday events, first dates, funerals, and I will sit and be your support. But no kissing on the mouth, that costs extra. And that's a joke, it doesn't cost anything. It's free. So I think on that note, we will welcome up to the stage the one, the only, Robin Clemens.
Can you hear me? Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Daniel. Is it okay if I just do it from the floor? Because that feels right. Do you guys do yoga? Have you been to yoga? Because like in Shavasana, do you just lay there and cry? Because that's what I'm picturing. Okay, I'm gonna get up. Do you think that if I like licked or snorted this carpet that I would get high? Should I do it? I'm gonna do it! I'm doing it! We're just kidding. No one does their drugs in front of people on the stage. If you do the drugs, you're in the green room. That's why it's called the green room. Or the purple room. Okay, everybody close your eyes and meditate for like 10 seconds so you don't watch me get up. Okay. Look away. Okay. Oh my God. Hi! That was a fun time. You guys, thanks so much for being here! Oh my gosh. What a fun thing to be together. Thank you so much for getting out of your homes. Okay. Hi. Hi. Hi, you guys. Hi. Oh my God. Okay. I already did that. Traumatized motherfuckers. That's what you are. Okay. All right. Gonna gather Squishy Jesus. That's my emotional support squishmallow. Squishy Jesus. Welcome to LOL Sob, the show where I will probably be doing both, which is my normal state. And if I say something tonight that doesn't resonate you, take what's best for you and leave the rest. Keep coming back. That's right. I need to tell you that a few days ago, someone told me about this comic named Youngmi Mayer. Do you guys know about her? She says that according to Korean culture, if you laugh while you're crying, hair grows out of your butthole. Which, maybe that explains some of the states of your buttholes. And if that's true, just prepare yourself for a potential new pelt of growth tonight. Okay? You might need to call your people who do things for your things down there. You guys, what a time to be alive. Holy fucking shit. All the shit that we have been through recently. Do we need to just collectively moan together? Let's just, God, that felt really good. Are we just all cycling through the 5 stages of grief just over and over? I feel like, particularly in Asheville, in this Western North Carolina, have probably created new stages of grief. Specifically the one that's like, oh. That's the one. You can't really spell that. It's just a feeling. I can hardly believe it. What a nightmare. I know I sold this as a comedy show, but it feels really wrong to just glaze over all that happened right away, you know? I need to acknowledge it, and I want to acknowledge you and your pain. So I'm going to talk about that for a few. Whoever imagined a massive hurricane would barrel through North Carolina and make it all the way to the Blue Ridge Mountains? I mean, I did not even think that was possible. I thought we would always be safe from something like that. Did you guys? Yeah. I mean, I knew it was going to be bad when the weatherman used the words catastrophic, but I was really hoping it would chill the fuck out, and it did not. I witnessed the flooding in 2004. I lived right up the street from Biltmore Village, and those little white condos called Beverly Condos. And I witnessed the flooding, and I thought it would be like that, you know, that we would lose the buildings. But it was not like that. It was way, way worse. And I don't have to tell you how bad it was, because most of you here lived it, and you're living it now. You're picking up the pieces of your homes, your businesses, and your broken hearts. Some of you knew people who were swept away in a flood or buried in a mudslide. I did not know anyone that passed personally, but I know that many of you did, and I want to tell you that I'm so sorry. This particular kind of disaster grief is shattering because of the replaying of what happened. Some of you were literally escaping danger, crawling to higher ground with your children and your pets with only the clothes on your back, or rescued from your roof, clinging to trees. Some lost their entire home and belongings. Businesses destroyed or severely damaged. It all feels incalculable, and really it will be. The water, the trees, the mud, the mold, the toxic dust. We think about where we were when it hit. Where we were when we got the news of just how widespread it was, just in the tiny hollers and the places that we go to escape. Just gone. It was and still is shattering. It's heavy and haunting. This collective grief is atmospheric. Like someone put us in a snow globe and just shook the shit out of it. And even if we survived, all of us are bruised. And we're going to feel it for a long time. There are things that you have seen and lived through that you'll never forget. Stories that are so heartbreaking that I have a hard time even believing that they're real. Knowing that more than likely they are. My son, Gus, is 9 years old. And if you know him, he likes to tell complete strangers that a tree hit our house. He says it matter-of-factly because my little dude is on the autism spectrum, and that's the only way he knows how to communicate. It's just like directly and without a lot of emotion. God love him. Telling people is how he processes his grief and fear. Because really, there is no wrong way to get through a disaster. Unless you're an insurance scammer. Or like preying upon people's vulnerabilities. Or land grabbing. Or refusing to open the doors of your grocery store and then just letting food rot inside of it instead of giving it to the people. Those are wrong ways. Anger is also a very valid emotion to experience. Fuck. What I'm saying is there's no wrong way emotionally to get through this. How you respond as a little bitch, just like thinking that you're the only person that matters here. No, we got to think about this collectively as community. I attempted to use this self-care app on my phone because we didn't have any cell service or internet forever. So who else was just looking at their phone what actually works without cell service? Because I'm so addicted to my fucking phone, I just gotta see what works. Oh God, my self-care app, I should probably use that. And it gets me to this prompt, which is what made you feel scared? Family, myself, pets. No! Outside! Outside made me feel scared, app! Melanie says I should also put myself. It's true. I scare myself in a really cute way or something. We did have a tree in our bedroom, which really did suck. When it hit, we were fortunately on the other side of the house. So we didn't have to watch it falling toward us. But I happened to be recording the trees because there were trees just falling all around the property. And I'm going to show you this video that I took. So if you don't want to watch it, it's very short, but I'm just letting you know if you're like, I can't handle watching another tree. That's too much for me. That's totally okay. Close your eyes. But if you listen, you can hear the tree that did hit our house. You can hear the thwomp right in the beginning. And I found myself watching it over and over again for some reason, like I was self-harming or something. I don't know. Maybe it was like you were here and it did happen. And oh my God, that's what it's like. Here it is. Here's Zach, my sweet little country husband.
Something at the house.
Yep.
Did you hear it?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that one went.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. And you're like, oh, worst case scenario. And you're like, why? We walked into our bedroom and there was just a tree in the side of the house. And then it eventually came through the attic into the ceiling of our bedroom. And then the water started pouring in. And so I grabbed this planter, this empty planter, to like collect the water. And I was like, we can flush our toilets with this. This is lemonade, y'all. Lemons, lemonade. We're doing it. Isn't it crazy how resourceful you just became? You were like, oh, I can do this. I'm amazing. I'm basically a prepper. I know things. I'm doing stuff. So that video did go viral, which is not important, but I mentioned it because if you'll remember with me, the last time one of my my videos went viral, where I was telling people that I thought babies were fucking stupid while I was in the hospital. Yeah, if you haven't watched that, if you haven't seen Spread Eagle at the Grey Eagle that we did last year, go look at YouTube and watch it. It's really stupid. Got 3 million views. But when you go viral, have you ever been viral, gone viral the video where it's like, this is crazy? People show up the weirdest fucking comments. And this one in particular really made me laugh. Margie Watkins, 75, commented, why are you saying ugly words? Please get this horse. Like, what? Margie, you're crazy. You're so crazy, Margie. I mean, laughter really is a gift that can buoy us through some real shit. So thank you, Margie Watkins, 75, for that special gift that kept me laughing for like 3 days, Please get this horse. Like, there's not a horse, Margie. The fuck, Margie? So my husband, Zach, where are you? Zach Plemons, where are you? I can't really see very far. Over there. Hey, babe. So he crawled up on the roof with his chainsaw. You know, he's the kind of guy who has calluses on his hands. Got dirt underneath his fingernails, and you just give him a chainsaw and he will tackle that bitch real quick. Which is really fun to have when you go through a hurricane, so I recommend that. So he was up there chipping away at the tree with the chainsaw, and I had a vision, and I was like, will you please take our beach umbrella and just stick it in the hole, because I have a vision, and I'm a photographer, and just let me live my dreams. So he did. Oh my God. Listen, I was really happy that he did. Thank you for doing that. He was like, I'm trying to do stuff. I'm like, just humor me. I need this levity. God. So I would lay there at night in the silence. You know, there's days after the storm and there's all this silence going on and you're stuck there with your fucking thoughts. Or a book or whatever, like some you read or whatever. Just kidding, reading's great. Okay, whatever. We drug our mattress out from our bedroom into the living room because we were worried that the tree might shift and break through the broken trusses and just smash us in our beds. So we were like, let's not do that. Let's sleep in the living room. So we did, and I would just lay there and get through all of my swirly thoughts, all the worst case scenarios. And I started going through my contact list. Bad idea. 'Cause it was like, how is this person? Did they survive? Are they okay? Is my sweet little friend from Ingalls who checks me out, like Janice, whose car just broke down, is she okay? All the people in our neighborhood. I don't think I got past letter C because I was like, this is too much. It was so overwhelming. Just tears collecting in my ears, imagining the worst, not knowing until we had any access to internet days later just how horrific it was. And I was laying there in the dark, the shadows illuminated by the walls or flashlights, and I was hoping that people had remembered, if they didn't have any batteries, that there were batteries in their remote controls. Or they had batteries in their vibrators. That's right. I was like, I hope they remember. There's batteries there. And then I was like, or maybe they should preserve their batteries in their vibrators because pleasure is important. And we need that release, those endorphins. We need those things to get us through crises. And then I felt sad for those of us who had leveled up and have rechargeable vibrators. Not pointing any fingers, we just had feelings all over the place. It was startling and eerie to hear the Chinook helicopters, right? Overhead with the they would break through the silence. And the rescue teams were jumping in wherever they could, lifting people into the air. And swiftwater rescue teams risking their lives to help save others. Just heroes everywhere. And I don't have to tell you, you've lived it. For weeks, and we would pass long convoys of lineman trucks, I would just weep. They were coming to our rescue. Long stretches of truck after truck after truck trying to come restore power to the people. Power to the people. And I would roll my car window down. Did you guys do this? I would roll my car window down and wave at them. And I would give them a thumbs up. And then like an I love you. Or I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Can you see me? I see you. Do you see me? Wave back. Honk honk. Something. Acknowledge my gratitude. I would also do this when I saw a line of military jeeps. Same thing. Thank you. I love you. Thank you for being here. Oh my God, you're saving people. A huge trailer full of water containers that had out-of-state tags. Right? And just all the unseen heroes that were showing up in their own personal vehicles and going, how can I help? What can I do? Just an overwhelming amount of people that showed up for us. Incredible. And every time I would see them and I would just sob. A truck bed with porta potties. Thank you. I love you. Thank you. More. Just sobbing and utilizing all of my sign language skills that I had. Thank you. More. All done. Jesus. Sunset. That was from some Sunday school song that's buried deep in my subconscious. Jesus, sunset, some song. Something like that. My teenager, Cade, was used to me blubbering around random shit. But when I lost my shit over the porta potties, she was like, oh my God, Mom. But like, people need places to shit, baby girl. They could be digging holes in their backyard, shitting in a hole. Who shit in a hole? Yes. Yes. Or they could be shitting in Ingles bags. Who shit in a bag? I did. I shit in a bag. Thank you. Yes. These were dire times. Zach was like, I can't believe you're shitting in a bag. I'm like, listen, I have Crow's disease. I shit wherever I'm inspired to shit. And my empathy for shit issues is high, you know? You know, well, I moved to Asheville from Irmo, South Carolina. Yep. When I moved here, I was 22 years old. Oh, just gonna eat the microphone. I was just a fresh babe. I came here to work for a Christian ministry to high school kids called Young Life. Yep. And I wouldn't say I was sheltered, but I definitely would say I was in a bubble. I started coming to this area as a high schooler myself to their camp in Weaverville called Windy Gap. And I remember being in a bus and driving over the Patton Avenue Bridge and seeing the French Broad River, and then on the side of the hill was a purple house. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Do you live in this purple house? Do you know who lives there? Anyways, I saw that purple house and I was like, oh my God, these people are crazy. Like, I've never seen a purple house. They're wild. I like it. I remember thinking, I could live here one day. Guess when I did? Spoiler alert. The call of the freak flag was high. It was calling me. It definitely was. And one of the first weeks that I moved here, I was driving down Lexington Avenue, and there was this woman walking up Lexington Avenue, and she had on a white tank top, and she just had one of her titties just out. So just one titty out, and she had a baby just suckling on her teat, and she was walking up the street breastfeeding with it all out. And I was like, you go, girl. By the way, that's back. We're saying that again. You go, girl is back, okay? It's cool now. But I was so impressed and inspired that she felt so free enough to do that. I also had never been to a tattoo parlor. And at this point, like 24 years ago, 23, the tattoo parlors in South Carolina were illegal. Like, there weren't any. So if you wanted to get a tattoo, you had to go to a different state. Isn't that crazy? Tattoos. So I was like, I'm gonna go into a tattoo parlor and see what it's like. So I walked in to Man's Ruin. Yes. I walked into Man's Ruin when it was on Merriman, right next to like Northside. You know, when you get the shitty wings back then. You know what I'm talking about? And I was just, said hello to the woman that was working there. And I was like, I'm just going to look through some stuff. Just look through their flash. That's what it's called, flash. Like, I didn't know that then, but I know now. Okay? So I was like flipping through it and landed on this one image of a cartoonish monkey that was bent over. And on its ass, it said, Aloha. And right where the O was where his butthole was. And I started laughing. I was like, that's it. And she was like, what are you laughing at? And I was like, oh, this monkey with the thing, the place. And she was like, oh yeah, that's mine. And she had it on her arm. Oh my God, it made me love this place even more. Just so free. I mean, I don't have to tell you, these people in this place, they're just so wonderfully feral. Just spirited, and vibrant, and unpretentious, and gritty. And they gave way less fucks about what kind of car you drove or the kind of bag you carried or what you did for a living. I loved it. You know, when I moved here, my favorite restaurant was Chili's. Now, listen, I'm not knocking Chili's because that shit's good. Sometimes it's just what hits the spot. But like, we're in Asheville, the land of beautiful, delicious restaurants. Oh my God. But I felt supported and free and amused by everyone I met. I didn't go to a traditional four-year college. Could you guess that? I mean, I barely squeaked through community college in Columbia, South Carolina. So this was like my first real entry into adulthood, you know? Like, I didn't have that college experience. So this place is like woven into the fabric of who I've become. So thank you, everybody. You know, if we were asked how we thought this community of people might respond to a natural disaster like this, I think a lot of us would have predicted that we would rally like this for each other. We would, wouldn't we? Yep. But this, I mean, not to be dramatic or anything, but it has been one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen. Yeah. But like, how is it possible for your heart to feel simultaneously broken and full? It's love. Love does that. Just like in a lot of crises in our lives, the storm has, I love how it's just your butthole is straight at you. You're welcome. Didn't really plan that. There you go. Just like a lot of crises in our lives, the storm has taught us so much. We didn't ask for this lesson, but here we are. It's taught us about the importance of mutual aid, the importance of asking for what you need, the importance of being aware of our privilege, especially if you are a white person, the importance of knowing people who might be secret preppers. Oh, you have 17 generators? That's cool. Can I borrow one? Those are things. The importance of having clean water, of feeling our feelings, of rest, the importance of people who are natural leaders that organize large groups to help flush toilets. The Flush Brigade. Were any of you a part of the Flush Brigade? Yeah, I was so bowled over by that. People going and paying attention to these people's shit that needed to be flushed. It was so amazing. I applaud you. It just taught us the importance of giving and receiving, and giving and receiving, and giving and receiving. It was like one big circle jerk. But like with less jerking and like way more cleanup. This is gonna take years and years, and not just like a little packet of baby wipes. Which I don't know how circle jerks work, but that's what I'm imagining. If anybody has experience, you can tell me later. Like, how does that work afterwards? Like, when everybody's done? If you don't know what circle jerk is, don't worry. You don't need to know. And if you do want to Google that, I would suggest you do it in incognito mode. Or just ask people who are younger than you, or people who you might know sexual things. I'm not a circle jerk expert. Maybe some of you are, and I'm not gonna yuck your yum. I'm just not. It's also taught me the importance of allowing joy. Right? Let's hear it for joy. Let's hear it for joy. Let's hear it. And how when joy shows up that we allow it and embrace it. For months before Helene, I had been planning and saving up to surprise my kid, Cade, with a trip to New York City for their 16th birthday. 16! I have a kid who's 16! It was such a big one. And they had a history of sucky birthdays, including getting clocked in the head by like a pinata, random pinatas, just have a goose egg on her head. It was awful. And also receiving like very sad news about their best friend on their birthday. So in the past, they just have this idea that in their head that like their birthdays just kind of suck, and that they're always gonna suck, and it's just doomed to be sucky. So I was bound and determined to make this 16th like super special. So I booked those sweet Allegiant tickets to New York City for like $90. You know, I'm talking about round trip. Yes. But I gotta tell you, Cade had never even been on an airplane. So it was like super special. And the soundtrack to the Hamilton musical has been their go-to comfort music for years now. So I got tickets to see it on Broadway. And then I was like, oh, I can do something else, maybe. So I wrote a letter to Lin-Manuel Miranda asking if he would help me surprise them with the news. So I sent the letter to my old blogging friend, Una LaMarche, who is best friends with Lin-Manuel Miranda, but with zero expectations. I was shooting for the stars and pulling out all the stops. And this is what that letter said. Dear Lynn, my kid Cade is turning 16 on October 5th, and I am surprising them with a trip to New York and tickets to see Hamilton. This genderqueer, tender-hearted, hilarious, adorable human has never even been on an airplane. So their not fully developed brain is going to explode. Their horizons and worldview is about to blow up. I thought it would be incredible if you could help announce the surprise with a super short video, a long shot, but I thought it wouldn't hurt to try. They love you. Hamilton is their comfort music. They turn to it when their anxiety is high, which is often because teenagering is a royal clusterfuck. Also, they just started getting involved in theater, and although they haven't scored a role yet, they haven't given up and is just as enthusiastic to be a part of the stage crew and celebrates their friends who do. And I wanted to tell you that they were playing an improv game called Heaven, where you pretend to be someone who died, and they chose you. Apparently you died from a tragic ride on the magic school bus that got stuck in someone's butthole. He sang the theme song to the Magic School Bus, like the updated one. I don't know if you guys knew that. Yeah. If this sounds fun and doable for you, this is what I'd love for you to say. Happy birthday, Cade Plemons. Surprise! You're going to New York City and you're going to see Hamilton. Regardless, I fully understand if you don't have the space or bandwidth for this. And please know that this mom is beyond grateful for your creations and beautiful gift of yourself to this world. I hope you feel that vast ripple effect of your art. And I hope you don't die inside an anus. Love, Robin Fleming. P.S. Big congrats on Warriors, the new album he just put out, and for being friends with Una. What a hilarious, dirty Tootsie Roll of a person she is. If you don't know who Una LaMarche is, I fully recommend you follow her. She just wrote a whole entire article for McSweeney's based on that scene in Love Actually, where Laura Linney doesn't end up mounting Rodrigo Santoro, and she just begging her to just like hop on it, you know? A whole article is hysterical. So Una received the letter, but she made no promises. Like, I wasn't expecting her to send it. I was just like throwing it out there just in case. We were supposed to leave a week after the storm. One whole week after the storm. So like, you know, during that time, nothing was certain. And I was so sad cumulatively not knowing if it was going to happen or not. And I had no idea if the airport was shut down or not. You know, didn't know if any flights were coming or going. Was it even possible for us to still go? Was it even right for us to still go amidst all of this? My heart had a real hard time reconciling the fact that just down the street there were cadaver dogs looking for people. I felt guilty for wanting to go, but I felt real disappointment and acceptance over the tickets that had already been paid for. And we had a fucking tree in our house. So how can I justify spending any money knowing that we have all this to pay for? Especially the hotel room, which is like the bulk of the budget. Can I cancel the reservation and not get charged? I only had access to spotty internet. It was all crazy. And then I remembered that our friends, Zeke and Carolyn Christopoulos, were going to be on that same flight. You guys know Zeke and Carolyn and their little daughter, Kosi. I had seen them at Pride the week before and made that fun discovery. So I called them and asked if the flight actually happened, could we stay with them in their place of Washington Heights? And they said, duh. So I said, hell yeah, thank you. If that happens, we'll pick you up at 4:30 a.m. and ride together. I was able to cancel the hotel reservation, and it was such a load off. Everything was uncertain. Some flights were coming and going, and some were not. I was prepared to potentially deliver more sad news. You're like, surprise! I had this all planned, but now we can't go. And Cade still had no idea. They said all they wanted for their birthday was a shower and some mac and cheese. That's all they wanted. But 2 days before we were scheduled to go, I get this in my Instagram DMs.
Cade! Happy birthday. It's Lynn. Surprise. You're going to New York and you're going to see Hamilton. We'll see you soon. Mwah! Happy birthday!
So fun, right? We watched it together in real time in a car where we were getting spotty signal. And this is how they responded. Happy birthday! There's so many emotions happening. the She's like, you said all of that to him? You told him about the bus anus? It's like, yes, he's best friends with Una Lamar. She's gonna value humor here. But before I showed it to her, I had to offer a disclaimer. Now, this may or may not be happening. It might not happen, but this is fun. I really want you to know that I tried. Oh my God. The night before the trip, we checked the site. The flight was on. And I wrote this in my journal. We will make space for the sadness and the survivor's guilt and the grief. The guilt for having a good time during massive suffering. We will also make space for joy and fun and celebration because YOLO and Cade deserves it. It was also really channeling the late, great, beloved icon, Asheville icon, Lori Masterson, who, what did she tell us? Don't postpone joy. Don't postpone joy. We only get one shot at this parenting thing while they're under our wing, and coming from an abusive household myself, it felt right and good to be prioritizing my kids' happiness. and we had a grand adventure. I mean, I cried my way through it all, just sobbing the whole time, which I do that normally, just cry through life. But I was raw as hell too because we hadn't had full internet access, so Cade was like indulging in copious amounts of TikTok, and I was vacillating between like videos of Moo Dang, the like slimy baby hippo. You know what I'm talking about? That tiny baby hippo. And then just like gasping wide-eyed at the footage of the destruction and just like being bowled over with grief in an instant. I guess that's how grief works, you know? You're just like, the waves. You're just, oh, normal. Wave that bullshit! And you're just there crying. That's what happens. I don't know if you know this, but... But I tried not to let it bulldoze Cade's experience or make her feel like she had to take care of me at all. We saw so much in 3 days, just 3 days we had. That's us. Sometimes she still lets me kiss her. They really wanted to go to Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, which was way more fun than I expected. See, so fun. Just so much fun. This was such a fun moment for me. Fucking asshole. Ugh. And I have been to the city a bunch, so I'll let her take the reins a little. You know, they tell you, you can touch the figures, just don't kiss them. And I'm like, people are trying to make out with these wax figures? Ew, are they dry humping them? Like, they might be, ew. But she accidentally licked Ed Sheeran right after this. And she doesn't even like Ed Sheeran that much. I mean, no offense, Ed Sheeran, but she just thought it would be funny. She took a lot of 0.5 videos of their faces. You know what I'm talking about? If you have teenagers, you know. Zayden, you know. Yep. Oh, and then here's the next one. We met, we didn't meet. We didn't meet them. They weren't real. We ran into the wax figures of Barry and Michelle. I mean, look how fucking cute this kid is. I love them so much. I mean, I'm really biased, but I love them. And then look at this jackhole. This is a woman who is free. And at this point in her life, only mildly cares about what the fuck you think about her. I really love this part of getting older. That's right. Here's the Hulk, which is weird, but I just kept thinking, look at his big fucking nipple. This huge green nipple. And I'm just like imagining the conversation with the artist and her family, like, what did you do today, honey? Well, I sculpted the Hulk's nipple today. It looks really good. I tried to get those areola bumps just right. I'm really proud of that. But it was huge. It was a huge green nipple I was very amused by that green nipple. Who wouldn't be? God. You know who else was there? Who run this mother? Who run this mother? Who run this mother? Who run this mother? I couldn't help myself. I love her so much. And I was feeling very like, who runs this mother? We do, motherfuckers. We do. Cade was, yes, there were people in the room while I was doing this. And Cade was so embarrassed that she wanted to go hide behind Megan Thee Stallion, who was in the same room. So, after that, we went and made it to the Richard Rodgers Theater. Look how cute this guy. Who's that guy? Like, what's he doing? Well, who's that guy? What's he doing? He's hot. Yeah. What's up, Daddy? So we made it, and I was already crying over the sheer beauty of the theater itself. Just like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And holy shit, I cannot believe we made it. We made it. We're here. I'm barely showered. Got to wash all of my parts. You'd love washing those parts, you know. They get really slimy. It's true. These are our real bodies. So Kate was just beaming throughout the whole play. But before it started, the woman to the left of me casually asked me where we were from. And I just started sobbing. Like my head was in my hands, and I was just doing this thing, and my boobs were just bouncing, and I just had to let myself cry. And I finally told her, and she understood. She was like, oh, right. Oh, I get it now. I get why you just lost your shit right here during this joyous place. We're in this joyous place, and you're losing your shit. A dream come true. A dream was coming true for my kid. And I cry some more over that. And Cade rolls her eyes at me, but also thanks me. She mouths all the words to all the songs. There's the stage. I had forgotten about the songs that include a devastating hurricane and death, and finding a sense of normalcy through that. And now I like and respect the Hamilton musical and had watched it on Disney Plus, but I'm not a devotee. So I was basically raw dogging it, experiencing it in person, you know? And we got to It's Quiet Uptown. You know that song? And it tore my fucking guts out. I'm just gonna say it. I was a puddle on the floor. I want to play a little bit of that song for us. And if you know it, feel free to sing along.
There are moments that the words don't reach. There is suffering too terrible to name. You hold your child as tight as you can and push away the unimaginable. The moments when you're in so deep, it feels easier to just swim down. The Hamiltons move uptown and learn to live with the unimaginable.
That's enough. But y'all, those words just gutted me. And the woman next to me patted my leg. I know. By the way, y'all, I want to tell you, and if you ever watch this, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Cade did just get their first role in a school play. They're putting on a production of a musical called The Prom. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like this very, this gay couple wants to go to the prom, and people are opposed to it, and people are fighting for it and fighting for their rights. And I was like, hell yeah, this is my kid and the prom. I love it. And so they have scored the role of Kevin, the homophobic football player. It feels so perfect and right and hilarious. It's going to be in March, and everybody's invited. So we also went to an off-Broadway show called Titanic. Yes. which maybe wasn't a great choice considering all the potential of seeing watery deaths. That's right. But we laughed so hard we almost fell out of our chairs. She wanted to go because of one particular performer that she had been a fan of for years, Terrence Williams Jr. He is a Prush head, and this is her meeting him after the show. She was sobbing, but she wouldn't let me share that video. I have to respect their wishes sometimes. These were approved, and look, you can kind of tell. He could not have been sweeter. And I considered this a big win that this sweet pea is one of my kids' heroes, you know? Look at that. Look how happy. This moment just made the whole trip for me. Like, you know, when you can see your kid just so happy. There's nothing like it. I could not be more grateful to see them light up this much. Could not be more grateful to my husband, Zach, who supported this idea the whole time because he knew the value of it and did not complain one time when he realized he was going to be stuck with our other kid at home with no running water or utilities or self-service or really any place to go with our kid who was like a ping pong ball, just bing, 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 bing. He's like, oh, you're leaving me here with, okay. And he didn't say that, not one time. Thank you, Zach. Oh, and he had to deal with the ding-dang tree, you know? Thank you. I love you. Sunset. Jesus. Thank you. So, y'all, when joy shows up, in whatever form that may be, let's try to allow it, you know? It buoys us through these fucking shit storms. Speaking of shit storms, 3 weeks after this trip, I had my 6th surgery on my butt. Just gonna hold my Squishmallow a little bit tighter. If you were at my last show, were you at my last show last year? Yes. That was so fun. Thank you for being there. It's called Spread Eagle at the Grey Eagle. Melanie, I think you were there. You were totally there. You might recall that I have perianal Crohn's disease, which sounds just as fun as you might think it is. It's an autoimmune condition that attacks your digestive system. It's so fucking rude. Don't get it. And that's a funny joke because it's not contagious. It's not like you like linked butts up and you're like, oh shit, now I have it. Oh no, you gave me your Crohn's disease. If it was like that, a lot of you would have it. Lincoln butts, not gonna yuck your yum. I'm in remission now with mild symptoms, but it wreaked havoc on my undercarriage. This is a really fun time right now. It created a tunnel from my rectum into my vagina. Yes, I basically have 2 booty holes. It's called a rectovaginal fistula. I know, it really sucks. Don't get it. But yeah, I fart through my cootie pop. Like at any time, I don't have any control over it. I could just feel like those farty flutters just bubbling up. It's just kind of like when you fart and it goes the other way. You know, it's like that, but there's no control at all. It's so stupid. And it is not my favorite time. But it's a very weird, normal thing that happens to bodies. Happened to my body. It can also happen after childbirth. Ouch. And the surgery that I had, this 6th one, was called a rectal flap. It's like an attempt to dam up one side of the tunnel in order to encourage healing. And Anna Eller, my colorectal surgery nurse, might be here tonight. Anna, are you here? She might not be. No, she's not. She's got a busy life. She likes to compliment me on my healthy tissue. She's like, your tissue looks really pink and healthy. Which is so nice to hear, really. You know, it really does take all kinds to make a world. And so I'm so glad there are people who are fascinated by and devote their lives to the health of other people's poop shoots. You know, we need that. Thank you. I love you. More. Thank you, Anna. But also, I want it to be all done. Please. It's not her fault, though. It's like I take immunosuppressants. So, and it's not really conducive to healing up things that are like piercings, you know, especially when in a place that harbors a lot of bacteria. So it's particularly difficult, Dr. Legner. You can see your face. You know these things, nurses, medical people. There was a joke that was going around my anal fistula group on Facebook. I have a support group for that on Facebook, and they were talking about how on Grey's Anatomy, they were saying, well, this surgery is hard, but at least it's not an anal fistula. Like it was one of the hardest things you had to like try and heal up. I might live with this for the rest of my life, which we don't have to think about that right now. We just have to do today, okay? So right now it's fine, and I'm not in pain, and I will take it, because it can be incredibly painful. I just have a really deep ache. It's like your body's going, this shouldn't be here. Like, tell me something I don't know. I'd also like to take a second to acknowledge medical professional Neely Gonzalez. Is she here? No. She also has a very busy life. She is one of my infusion nurses who stabs me once a month and gives me good, expensive drugs, like $17,000 a month drugs. Isn't that criminal? It's criminal. So those drugs keep me from bleeding out of my busted asshole, and she keeps me laughing. It's a very important job. Thank you, Neely. So unfortunately, that flap failed. To no fault, I know, it failed. So, to no fault to my surgery team. Lots of weird fucking shit happens to our bodies, and this is a part of being human, especially those who have like chronic illness and all these like weird things. You're like, I never expected that, but here we are. It's happening to my body. If you two are in the audience, or if you're watching this right now and suffering from a rectovaginal fistula, may I just say, solidarity. I'm so sorry you are not alone. No, that's not how I needed to. I'm so sorry you are not alone. So sorry you're not alone. The pacing of that was important. And I hope one day we will be able to receive oral sex again. To all those, we salute you. Forgot about that hand signal. I also have this one. Use that one. That one's fun to do too. 2 weeks after that, America elected a stupid piece of shit for president. I can't even say his stupid name, like Voldemort. And I don't even talk about people like that. Even if I don't like you, I'm never gonna call you a stupid piece of shit, because I value humanity. But like those in positions of power that perpetually prioritize profits over people are on another level of vile. I refer to him as dump. He reminds me of my abusive father on many levels. So seeing him more makes me want to just like kick stuff. But don't worry, I have not been violent or kicking anything yet. I've gone through a considerable amount of therapy over the past 12 years. Just ask my therapist, Jude McClung. Jude, are you here tonight? There you are. Hi, Jude. tell them I'm doing okay. You're doing great. Okay, thank you. See? Thanks, you. Thanks for your support. Thank you, therapists. All you therapists and wellness people out there. Thank you for enduring all of this with the people who trust you. Don't shake your head like I'm going to recognize you, Melanie. Just like the first time that stupid piece of shit was elected, I felt an increased sense of fear for those with black and brown skin. And as a white woman, I will never fully know the depth of what it's like to experience America as a person of color. And I knew that having him in the spotlight spouting his heinous rhetoric, it would be even more dangerous on lots of levels. And it was, and it is, and it will be. There is a collective grief here. Just like too much, just feels like too much. Surviving the hurricane and the aftermath and this election mess and just regular life shit. And sometimes the hits just keep coming. We could go down every single person and you could tell us all the hard shit that you've been through. We all have something we're grieving or merely just trying to survive and get through. Which is why it's great to develop healthy coping skills. And if you need some fresh new coping skills, I've got some. Breathe deep into your cute belly. Now, if you're thinking that your belly isn't cute, shut your fucking mouth. All your bellies are cute. That's how we're seeing things these days, okay? That we're embracing we're body neutrality and we're speaking to ourselves with kindness and love, okay? Maybe let's take a moment and breathe for a second. Like, you don't have to, but like, maybe do. Thank you. Scream fuck in your car. Maybe you already do this. Do you do this? I do it considerably because I find it's better that you do it in your car and not in your house where you might scare your children. So don't do that. Call a friend, one that will listen and not give any advice unless you ask for it. Which is particularly helpful when all you really want to do is vent. All you really want to do is have someone go, oh yeah, I hear that, I see you, yeah, oh God, yeah, that sucks, oh. That's particularly important, which is why I like 12-step groups, because they're not fucking allowed to say anything back to you. Well, at least they're not supposed to. Which is why the meeting after the meeting sometimes is even better. But, okay. Some of you might recognize some of these from a from a print I made a while ago called 10 Things to Do When You're Overwhelmed and Feeling Like Shit. This was one of the things. Look up the Lenny Kravitz dong gif, okay? So years ago, Lenny Kravitz was on stage somewhere in Europe, and he had on these leather pants. And he was rocking out, and he rocked so hard that his pants split open. His pants split open, and his penis fell out, you guys. And when I heard about this story, I looked it up. No shame. Hello, Lenny Kravitz is smoking God. And I discovered that someone had made a gif of it. Which made me laugh so hard. And I want to share it with you, okay? So listen. Some of you have penises. Some of you have seen penises. Some of you have seen a lot of penises. I'm just kidding. She hasn't. She's sworn off penises. I mean, maybe. I don't know. You never know. Okay, I won't label you. Okay. So if you don't want to see this, it's not up close. I just wanted to show you because the boinging thing is very funny to me. Are you ready? It just boings out. Just boing. Ready? Boing, boing, boing. boing, boing, boing. How long should we let it go? You see it? Boing, 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 boing. Bing, bop, boop, boop. I'm telling you, if you need some levity, just look it up. And the boinging, swear to God, so good. It brings so much levity instantly. Next one. Oh my God, oh my God. Next one, coping skills. Hug a dog, preferably one that isn't an asshole. So if you need to figure out if it is an asshole, just ask their owner. Be like, is your dog an asshole? Can I hug it? And if it's not asshole, then hug it. Dogs are so sweet. Let's hear it for dogs. Yeah. I have a dog named Jelly. She's an idiot, but we love her. Get your farts out. So, like, you might not be depressed. You might just have to fart. That is science. That's what I hear from the science people that tell me things on the internet. And you guys, I've had this dream for a while, and it might be a really weird dream for some of you to accept. But I've had a dream of being in front of a large audience and asking people to fart in unison at the count of 3. And you might not want that to happen, but we're going to try it. Yeah, we are. So if you have one saved up, feel into your body. Just feel into it. And on the count of 3, just push it out. Okay, you ready? Just go with it. This is my dream. Don't crush my dreams. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. I didn't have one. Did you? Mine came out the front. It always does. It just bubbled up. Thank you for at least trying that experiment with me. Here's another one. Coping skills. If you're taking a walk with your kid and you see a pile of dog shit, ask them if it's theirs. You just see a little pile and you're like, oh my God, did you do that? Gus, was that yours? It really works on kids that are like 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, they're like, what? No, that's crazy. It's not mine, Mommy. I poop on the sidewalk. Next one. When you're with your mom, especially if she's a boomer, and she excuses herself to go to the ladies' room, ask her loudly if she has to go number 1 or number 2. She will love it. She's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Do you have to go number 1 or number 2? My poor mom, she has put up with so much. But she is also very blessed, okay? So she tells us on her towels. Cry freely. Just cry freely if you don't already do that. Just accept that you're going to show up at the fucking Aldi and just cry over something if you haven't done that already. And I need you to remember that holding in your tears actually causes constipation. You know how I know this? Science people. The science people told me. And also, it's just common sense. You're just tense, you know? Just holding things in. If you're just clenching your poop in, everything's just like this. And if you just relax and allow yourself to cry and fart and poop, it's going to make you feel a lot better, okay? And the last one, just be so, so sweet to you. This is a really shitty time to be alive on Earth. And we just need all of the tenderness and care we can muster over this time. And if your inner voice starts talking shit to you again, you just tell her to watch her fucking mouth. Because how dare you speak to my friend like that? We need to speak to ourselves like we're talking to a dear friend. To a dear friend. I would never say things that were so heinous that I say to myself sometimes. So when I was coming up with the idea for another show, I initially wanted it to be a celebration for all the unseen victories in our lives. the ways in which we show up for ourselves and others that don't get fanfare or a medal. I watched the Olympics this summer and saw video compilations of their stories and the hard work that they put in, the team around them, their downfalls, their mistakes, and then their moments of real accomplishment. And they were proud of themselves. And the whole country was proud of them. And they stood on a platform to standing ovations. I watched footage of the New York City Marathon, and this makes me cry every time I watch anything that having to do with marathons. Do you guys do that too? Yeah. I'd love to see it firsthand one day. I'm so moved by their courage and also by the crowd that amasses on the sidelines just cheering them on. They receive applause, a medal, Instagram posts with miles of congratulations, personal victories. But it doesn't get a lot of fanfare and applause? Our own private victories. No one is cheering us on the sidelines when we gather our courage to go to yet another therapy session, especially when we're in a dark place. To go to another doctor's appointment when you have a chronic illness. Just so many unseens. Caregiving for the elderly, helping to run a surrogacy organization so the LGBTQIA community can have babies. That doesn't get a lot of fanfare. That doesn't get trophies, but they should. Moms and dads who lovingly care for their kids, especially when they feel like they're being abused by their toddler. They're just forming the next generation. Ow. A lot of it's in the dark, in the middle of the night, changing a diaper. Good job, y'all. Dump truck drivers, nurses, teachers, realtors, comedians, photographers, cinematographers capturing it all. Artists expressing themselves so we can feel something. Engineers who know things about water systems and turbidity. Can you think of all that brain power that had to go into rebuilding our water systems? God, numerous ways in which we all contribute to the world, but are unseen. And they all matter. And it all adds up. If you will, think about all your unseen victories this year, and whether it be delivering warm food to displaced families or farting in public. Will you join me by placing a hand on your heart and saluting yourself? And look at each other and salute each other. Good job. I am handing out big-ass fake trophies to you. Just handing out fake trophies. The big, huge kinds that, the babies get in pageants. They're like, where the hell do you put that? The big ones. We've made it through some really hard shit. My hope is that you'll remember this energy and put it deep in your heart to think of when you're feeling down or overwhelmed. Can you think of us cheering you on like you're in a fucking marathon? You know what else that helps get us through? Our emotional support pets. Our emotional support treasures, these things that we have in our lives that keep us going. I asked you to send me yours, and this is what I did with that.
For all those times for all the truth you never see, for all the joy you brought to my life, for all the wrong that you made right, for every dream you made come true, for all the love I found in you, I'll be forever thankful, baby. You're the one who held me up, never let me fall. You're the one who saw me through it all.
You can sing along if you want.
My strength when I was weak. You were my voice when I couldn't speak. You were my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best there was in me. Lifted me up when I couldn't reach. You gave me faith 'cause you believe I'm everything I am.
Her rock queen. Yep. You were my eye. Yay! That's it. I'm everything I am because you love me. Oh my God, what would we do without them? I just really hope that you saw these. Emma and her Nick Cage pillow. She doesn't like to drive around alone. So she drives around with this pillow in her car. It's so adorable. Oh my gosh. And please tell me you saw this. Everybody, let's salute Melanie. Saluting Melanie and her bravery for showing us her special friend. Thank you. Which was funny because I was like, when I was talking to her about it, I was like, she was like, do you want me to show you my vibrator? I was like, I had that idea and now you just offered it to me. It's like serendipitous. It really was. Oh my gosh.
Happy to help.
Thank you. I was unsure how I wanted to end this, but it, became clear. Just gonna keep that up there. Is that all right? Yeah. It's blessing us. There you go. I'd like to end with a toast, a messy, heartfelt one. So if you will, if you have a glass, raise your glass, or just like your thumb up or something, or like hold your titties or something. Whatever feels right to you. As we head into this next year, which is bound to bring us some more stupid shit, let's take a minute to exhale through this one. Yes, oh my God, I felt that. Here's to all that we have lost. We honor you. We remember you. We love you. Here's to all the unseen courage, past, present, and future. Here's to having each other's backs and fiercely loving ourselves and our neighbors. And here's to getting through it in whatever way we can. We're all we got. Asheville forever. This is a song that I thought of when I was thinking about us, and I was thinking about this town, and I was thinking about the fucking shit that you've been through. I was thinking about how we have showed up for each other, and we're gonna continue, and how, baby, we can make it if we're heart to heart. Sing with me. Horizon, a sea of paradise, this world that I found. It's too good to be true. Still really painful, but it's sometimes really good. So much to give you, love in my heart, and I'm feeling for you. Let them say we're crazy. I don't care about that. Put your